straws killing the turtles or something?
Yeah, I mean, they've got photographic evidence of that happening.
So, you sure it's not my Midwest straws for killing?
No, it is actually.
Is it?
Oh God, yeah. You can throw something in the trash proper, goes to the landfill proper, washes away from the landfill, goes into the watershed, ends up in the river, eventually ends up in the Illinois River, then ends up in the Mississippi River, ends up in the Gulf of Mexico, ends up 10 years later in the gyres in the Pacific Ocean. So yes, your straw in Bloomington.
Is the gyros plastic on it?
Yeah.
It's all your fault, Mike.
Yeah.
But I feel just as guilty when I throw the last jar away. I just don't get the room to keep it.
So do you have curbside pickup?
We don't have he's got dumpsters.
Yeah.
And the city made him buy two of the garbage cans and pay for the service. So that he could mandatory what he had. So he wants us to fill those up first just to make them have to do it. But he wants the dumpsters himself too. He uses the dumpster mainly for his, it's a construction company, so he uses it for that. And once we fill those two cans up, but both guys go over to the kids and you got sometimes you really kind of want can to it. So he thinks it's good. But he's pissed he doesn't make one. He's fine with it.
And our recycling is always full, but our dumpsters have very little in it.
When I had my house, I recycled. But
We're such Amazon addicts, so it's, which is, worse than you can do, right? I mean, but, I get blank DVDs in all the time, and new equipment and all, so I always have these stupid cardboard boxes.
Is it delivery rather than going to the store?
No, I think it's just called being a consumer and buying too much shit. It's like, the good environmentalists wouldn't buy junk, it's like, you would buy less.
I would really love to spend some time go through my stuff and just, my dad has this policy, if he doesn't want something in a year, he goes and gets donated.
Repurposed, reused, someone else can use it, yeah. There's I was listening to a TED Talk on that on the way here today, and there's a guy who founded a company for, not recycling per se, well, I guess reusing, repurposing and reusing and reselling. Because he found like companies, well, it's been 2 years, throw out all the office chairs and get all new ones.
I wish this place would do that.
Yeah. But
I think the term is for upcycling.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. That is indeed the correct term. Look at you, Tim.
Tim's a pretty smart cookie.
Yeah, no?
I'm blushing over here.
Yeah, it's good. One of us has some brains in
Yeah,
this group.
don't let it go to your tips.
Yeah, I mean, being the smartest guy in this group does not really stink that much.
Fair. Yeah, I'm going to get out the door when I leave.
Yeah.
You were saying?
But the upcycling, this guy, founded a company on upcycling. And of course, because he saw this company throwing away 2,000 chairs. And they were all in good shape. It's just they didn't, it's like, well, it's new. Time to get new ones. So, and he took them and then refabricated them.
Oh.
And
So we worked on them.
yeah, they kind of reworked them some, but most of them didn't need anything. But they figured that, I guess they found people that wanted to buy them, but with a different, like, well, we don't like the orange. Would you like them in blue? Yeah, blue would be good. Well, okay, new fabric.
We had at my church, we had pews that out of versus that were,
Yeah.
we had pews that were orange. And orange carpet.
That was it's obviously from the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
the Brady Bunch era. Everything was that color. I remember that.
Well, I remember renting old places that had aquamarine colored refrigerators.
Oh yeah.
And the sinks.
Oh yeah.
And the sinks were aquamarine.
Yeah, that was huge in the That's 80s, I think.
I thought that was 50, 60.
I thought it was the 80s, but I don't know.
No, there was the 80s when I was renting it.
Oh, okay.
It was old places that had that. The tubs would be aquamarine, all the porcelain.
Yeah, one of our bathrooms is.
Aquamarine.
Yeah.
You gonna change it?
No, it's just too cheap.
Cheap. Oh, you're cheap.
Yeah, I'm very cheap. And we have 4 bathrooms, so it's kind of like, yeah, that one can stay here. Whatever. It's got green tile, whatever. The green sink. Little white tub. We got all long claw tubs.
Oh, I rented this place that had this really long cast iron long tub, and it was great. Stretch out that thing. Nice and wide.
Yeah, 2 of ours are jumbos. You know,
Did
there's
not have a shower though.
no, our house didn't have a shower when we moved in. So one of our, I have an enclosure for long claw tubs.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so that, it's still a long claw tub, but it has a shower enclosure.
You could probably sell it for pretty good.
The tubs?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one we have.
Make them take it out.
Yeah. Hell. Good luck getting it out of here. Thank you, bye-bye.
Let's get it up.
We use 1, we have 3. But we also have a slate sink, this ball and claw. It's made out of slate, black slate, but it's got, chrome rails and whatever, cast iron feet. And, yeah, the sink. It's from 1870. Our plugins are also from 1870s. That's kind of scary, but they're screw-in on the baseboard. So, you open it has a little round door, and you open it up, and it's a screw-in instead of a plug. Yeah, that's what electricity was in 1870. They hadn't invented the plug-in yet. Plug-in wasn't invented till 1880, somewhere in that. Well, they sell them for basements all the time. The little screw-in thing that is a plug.
Yeah.
You can see those in They
I
still.
thought that was for the light sockets.
It is, but in my house they're for the plug-ins. Because I didn't want to touch them. I wanted, we only have 3 of them, I think, left. Everything else has been converted, but I wanted to keep the 3 as they were. So yeah, I used.
What year was your house built?
1870 something. Portions of it. It's big, it's weird. It has no sense of style or design whatsoever. It's just like, well, let's put a room there. Okay. It's presumably New Orleans French design, but yeah, it's a stretch. It's mostly just a mess. Okay, we're going to go live in about 30 seconds.
Exhibition weekend here at Grocery Arena. The Illinois State Bedford gets set to wrap up the exhibition weekend against the Chicago Cougars. A very pleasant good evening from inside the garage. Ellie Decker and Michael Hermberg with you as we get set for our second matchup between these 2 teams. Last night it was a little bit of the new and the old for Division I Redbirds. The new players that have come into the fold for Division I team are head coach Chris Pruitt, and Ethan Chesney. 5 goals between them. Trick and Patrick Chesney with 2. And then you have the players who have established themselves on this team. Tony Campese, the goaltenders, Brendan Donovan, and Anthony Grusha.
Yeah, a lot of the new players, Will, as you spoke from, Will Dustin, who ran the River Kings up in Wisconsin. Big body, great shot, likes to shoot the puck. He made a big impression over the summer, coming to our Red-White Cup, fit in well with the guys right away. Ethan played at the Peoria Mustangs. Obviously, we knew him already going well. He's actually son of a coach out in Rockford. Ethan's going to be a special player for us. Tony, solid, great choice as captain. He is the guy who
I never
wanted
wanted
to be here
At
already.
least the lights are gone out.
So what it is, a senior
me.
he's a leader.
Well, that's what you get.
We also saw some of the new players that are with the program this year. Logan Martinson on defense, very tall, rangy player on defense. He'll be shoring up the back line for head coach Chris Pruitt. And also on the front line, you have players staying with the team. Jackson Graham, a year improved from last year.
Yeah, Jackson's another player that we got from Peoria Mustangs in the LA3. Chris has just got, he's got a solid roster of guys that, went to the national championship this year. And it's a neighborhood I think that Illinois State at the D1 level is going to stay at for a while.
Again, this is the second of the 2 exhibition games for the Division 1 team. Earlier today, the Division 2 and 3 teams had their exhibition wrap-ups, and you were here for those games, Mike.
Yeah, this is a great weekend for us. It's become a tradition where we start the season off playing against different junior teams. Like I said earlier in the game, you know, the Cougars are a great organization, an organization that we have a lot of respect for. These kids are hockey players. You know, they want to compete. Last night they're probably a little bit embarrassed. I know it's the beginning of the year. They're just getting their systems together and all that. Big arena like this is new to a lot of them. They're trying to impress college level coaches. We have a lot of Cougars kids in here, but they have a lot of pride. So they're going to come out and they're going to make an effort. You know, we got to play. You know, Coach Pruitt's got to teach his. I'm sure he's speaking to his players about playing hockey, playing a period, you know, not getting into the trash that can be going on, not worrying about the refs. Let's play hockey and let's be ready for next week against Missouri State.
I'm glad to see you got the memo that we're matching at least.
It's good.
It works, yeah. It works.
I like it. We're twins.
You're the better looking one, that's for sure. 2-1 is our score as we get set for the second period. Redbirds and Cougars will switch ends. Teams are making their way onto the ice now as the Redbirds come back out. Mark Imbergia is going to head over to the goal to our left now, and it does look like we may have a change in goal for the Cougars.
Yeah, I think the Cougars have 3 rostered goalies for today. So,
yes.
Again, preseason for them. I don't think they start their regular season for a few more weeks. Coaches, you know, unlike with the college teams, Coach Pruitt for 60-70% of his kids he had last year. So there's a lot of knowledge that they already know. Sometimes the juniors, yeah, you have some kids that go from year to year, but you have a lot of new players. So I'm sure Josh, the head coach with the Cougars, is still trying to learn his players, trying to figure out where they are in the depth chart. It's a good opportunity to get the different goalies in, see where they fit.
David Jilek will take over in goal for the Cougars here in the second period, and they will work from right to left as we see it along with you. Now playing goal for the Cougars, number 41, David Jilek. As the Redbirds control the puck in their own end. Here's a weird bounce off the dasher board. Kept in the zone by the Cougars. Redbirds finally get to it, and Jackson Graham clears it out to center, and it's going to skid along the freshly Zamboni'd ice, and it goes all the way down, but no icing is called. They wave it off. This one, however, will be icing against the Cougars, and the faceoff will come back down into the Cougars' end. They do have a power play for the next 76 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sure, you know, Coach Pruitt said let's kill off this penalty kill. Let's have a cleaner period. I think 5-on-5, Redbirds need to work on that a little bit more before next week and just get some chemistry going between the new and the old players.
Cougars have the puck as they work it forward to the Redbird zone. Here's Schuckman with a shot. That one went wide as is steered aside by Imbergia. Here's another one taken in. That's one wide of the target. Comes out to the near side. Jackson Graham feeds it forward and kills some more time as the Redbirds go for a change. 45 for the power play. A minute gone by here in the second. And now a whistle stops play. There are no more three-line passes. So it was just an icing call. They hadn't got the center ice.
Yeah, you know, John Panos did a good job as you know, forward number 1, kind of circling, trying to drive that defensive player on the Cougars up the wall. He tried to make that long stretch pass, just didn't connect, and that is how you get icing.
So the face-off will be to the left of David Jilek, who's a right-handed catching goalie. Cougars move into the Redbird end. Here's Kennedy over the line. His shot sent wide of the target. Send over to Edwards, who picks it up on the near line. Edwards resets for the Cougars. Goes to the far side. Now a quick shot. Imbergia with the save as Kevin Hanley ripped one from the near circle. And Imbergia able to stop it. Still 12 seconds left, and the Cougars man advantage. trying to extend their 2-1 lead.
Good little work on the umbrella power play by the Cougars. You know, getting it up to the quarterback at the top of that umbrella, shooting it over to the right, and then wide open guy on the left's got a straight shot. And Burgess saw it straight on, though. He's going to make that save 99 times out of 100, maybe 100 times out of 100.
Martinson clears it around the boards. It hops over the stick of one of the Cougars players at the line trying to hold it in. As Jack Gardner had it hop over his stick, and the puck then went into the bench area, so the faceoff will be in the neutral zone. Faceoff won by the Redbirds as Chesney sends it forward. Jalik covers it up, then puts it back in play right away. Penalty is over to Garcia, both teams back at full strength. Ben Moak lost it at center, and the Cougars get it back. Tegan O'Brien sends it around to the near side. Hacked at by the Redbirds, played in by Middendorf. Sends it over to Moak, who dumps it into the corner. Martinson plays it for the Redbirds. Sends it forward, it's tipped out of the zone. Now Jackson Graham races down, but Aiden Middendorf gets to it first for the Cougars. 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second. And it's 2-1 in favor of the Cougars. Jack Gardner back behind the net, sent out front as Schultz trying to get to it. It's stolen away by Jackson Graham for the Redbirds. He'll dump it in from just inside of center. Back to get it is O'Brien. Schultz had the puck avoid him, and it's picked up by the Redbirds. Natoli ahead to Matsis. Over to Bachton. Natoli sends it into the corner. Bachton ridden off the puck. Sent into the corner. Matsis gets to it. Back out to the top of Natoli. To Matsis, who will fire one from the circle. That one blocked down by the defense. The Redbirds can't hold it in as it eludes Mason Perry.
Redbirds stretching the ice a little bit, trying to find some gaps here.
Redbirds get it into the corner. Natoli from the line sends one off the post. Matsis in the far circle, had it knocked away and picked up by the Cougars. Cougars transitioning quickly. Moving forward is Henderson. Goes around to the far side. Back out to O'Brien. Henderson along the far board. Lost it. O'Brien gets to it. Fires one in. Blocker save made by Imbergia. Bachton ridden off the puck. Picked up by the Cougars. Trey Henderson plays it along the far boards. Comes into the middle. Backhand pass. Swept aside quickly by Natoli.
Redbirds need a line change here, trying to get it out of the zone.
Here's Perry. Sends it forward, tipped. Matsis tried to get to it, couldn't hold on, and no line change yet. As now the Redbirds will make a change as the Cougars do as well. 1/4 of the second period gone by. Still 2-1 in favor of the Cougars. Liam Gritchick moves forward, tries to get into the slot, had it knocked away. And it's picked up by the Cougars. Now a whistle and an offside call made as Aiden Kennedy was a little bit behind his lead player.
A couple of things happened on that play at the and there. Gritty and Carson Hilt had a little bit of miscommunication. He was going to play the puck in the zone, but early on, Gritty did a good job of skating the puck up, but he wanted to hit Carson Hilt. Carson kind of went straight up parallel with him, and that's just a tough pass to make. It's a tough pass to catch. I would have liked to see Carson maybe stay a little bit more to the center of the ice, give a better angle for a pass for Gritty on that one.
We apologize for some audio difficulties we were having earlier in the broadcast. L.A. Decker and Michael Hernbert with you from Grossinger Motors Arena in downtown Bloomington. Illinois State trailing in this exhibition game 2-1. Here are the Redbirds over the line. Carson Hilt drops it back. Andreas Zorn with a shot. That one went wide of the target. Hilt behind the net. Digs at it. Now a penalty coming up against the Cougars, and a cross-checking call will give the Redbirds a man advantage with 14:02 to play in the second.
Yeah, so now on that, when the Redbirds brought the puck into the zone on that one, that was a really good job. A couple of drop passes, one back to Carson Hilt, drove that puck forward. Another Redbird player came in behind, good A+ opportunity, got that puck down in the zone, puck got behind the net there. Brendan Begner, the referee, was 5 feet away. The Cougar player just, 2 hands on his stick, cross-check right to the back. That's going to be called every single time. Something that Cougar player could have done. You could still put some physicality on it using one arm, but as soon as you put those 2 hands on that stick and make a forward thrusting motion, that is going to be a penalty every single time.
Here's Ethan Chesney moving into the circle. His attempt steered aside and sent out to neutral ice. Chicago penalty number 21, Connor Schuckman, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of the penalty, 5:58, second period. Cougars penalty, Schuckman, 2 minutes for cross-checking at 5:58, resulting in a Redbird power play. Mason Perry gets it back over to Bland. He'll move in, fire. That one stopped nicely. Big save that time by Zilek as he sprawled out to make himself as wide as possible to cut down any angles and was able to stop the Redbird attempt.
Really good setup by the Redbirds there. Really good save by the goalie. Goalie's part of that penalty kill too. You got your numbers up top, 5-on-4, but that goalie is your 5th guy there, and sometimes he's the last guy that's going to be able to shut down that power play.
Cougars clear it down the rest of the way. Under a minute to play now in the power play for Illinois State. Redbirds lead 14-11 in shots on goal. As Backton sends it back out to Zorn. Glove save made by Zilek, and he will hang on and take the face-off in his own end.
See, that's once again, we're finding that lane in the middle. We're getting those shots in. But we had 2 Redbirds players both on either post there. Again, goalies are going to be able to make that save just about every time. You got to get some bodies in the front, some sticks there. I'm sure as we go back and watch the video on these, and Coach Pruitt shows that to the players, they'll get it. Still early in the season, they'll pick it up.
Backton run into the boards by Moak as Tricarico takes it into the corner. And Bergia comes off of the extra attacker. Here's Backton trying to send it down low, and now the penalty will be called against. And now a misconduct call also. So they're going to tack some time out of this one.
So, point of emphasis, everybody's going to know what interference is at the end of tonight. And I think the referees are tired of hearing any critiques of their work from the players, so he added some extra minutes on to Moak after that penalty call. So a little bit short of a 5-on-3 for 13 seconds. See if we get a quick one here and still work on the power play to try and get the lead after that. Cougar coaches asking some questions as to what's going on. Sometimes the coaches, just like in baseball, where the manager will come out and try to get between an upset player and a referee or an umpire, hockey coaches sometimes will try to get their anger pointed toward them and away from their players.
Chicago penalty number 17, Ben Moak. 2 minutes for interference and a 10-minute misconduct Time of the penalty, 7:45, second period. Cougars penalties, Moak, 2 minutes for interference and a 10-minute misconduct at 7:45. At least that's what I believe they're going to call. I don't have the direct line anymore to the press box. Yep, that's what it was. I just got the word on that. And the Redbirds now again on the power play. Jackson Graham moves to the far side circle. To Chesney, back to Graham. Chesney at the point. Mason Perry at the top in the slot. Near side for Bland. Far side for Chesney. Chesney spins away from pressure to Mason Perry. Now Jacob Bland sends it across ice. Chesney down low for Graham. He'll reverse back out to the top. Centering pass by Zulo, knocked away. Now sent out front, they score! Jackson Graham may have got the tip as Zulo sent it out front, but in any case, the Redbirds have tied it at 2.
So the Redbirds set up in an umbrella setup up there is where you get the 3 guys up high, working off the wings, trying to get a good pass across and a shot. Cougars were doing a good job of covering that. So what Zulo did, they got that puck down low. Zulo kind of forced the issue from down low and just really kind of started to drive it to the net. We had a body out from the Redbirds, nice little deflection, puck in the net.
Jackson Graham is going to be that guy, I think, this year because he looks taller than he was last year. It might just be perception on my part.
Chris has got some
I'm
big
not,
players.
I'm not tall, so that even on skates, I'm not tall.
Will Tricario is a monster of a human being.
Logan Martinson, yeah,
Martinson
he is
has the
tall.
puck right now.
Yes.
There's some bodies here. We do value some speed, but physicality helps as well. I think there's a good mix of size and speed on this team.
Redbirds have it on the corner, sent out front, but stolen away by the Cougars. Miskevich trying to get through center. Redbirds hold it in. Shadle sent it behind the net. Carson Hilt bangs it off the back of the net. Now it's sent over to the far side, to the near side. Held in by the Redbirds, but the Cougars able to sweep it out to center.
So Carson was behind the net there. I don't know if you saw that, LA. He's behind the net. Defenseman coming in on him. He made a pass to the net down there. Puck came back to him, and then Carson made another pass out front. If they would have scored a goal, I think the net should have gotten an assist on that. So
he's
he
not
was
but
up for an assist, and he would have got a tripping call too.
But the net's not on the roster. That's the problem.
I'm telling you, he's having a good game.
The net's not on the roster, so I don't think we can do that.
Solid game.
Here's an opportunity on the breakaway, and steered aside nicely by Imbergia. As moving in was Kevin Handley, and Imbergia gets the blocker up in the right spot to deny the breakaway opportunity.
Good speed by that. Parker Church, was making ground, but the Cougar player did a good job of kind of using his body to shield Parker from catching up to him. So then it was between him and Imbergia. Imbergia, he's going to win that battle. I wouldn't say most of the time, but a good percentage of the time he's going to win those battles.
Now a discussion amongst the officials. The linesman talking to one of the referees. Now he'll go and talk to his counterpart with the stripes on.
They got their backs turned, so I can't read lips on this.
Now my vision at this distance is minimal at best.
I'm thinking maybe they're saying, did anybody see interference on that play? Just to go with the theme of the evening.
And it doesn't look like anything's going to be called, so we will proceed with play.
Nope, no interference.
Cougars trying to push the faceoff toward Imbergia. It goes into the corner. Illinois State goal scored on the power play by number 19, Jackson Graham. Assisted by number 27, Joey Zulo. Time of the goal, 8:59, second period. Redbird goal on the power play scored by Graham, assisted by Zulo at 8:59. Here's a shot by Tricarico, blocked by the defense out front. Held in by Mason Perry, who sends one in, saved by Zilek. Rebound control by the Redbirds. Tricarico centers out in front. Garcia was there but couldn't get the stick on the puck. And the Redbirds back to get it. Natoli sends it ahead. Mason Perry will fire one in. Zilek the save as he steers the rebound into the near corner. Approaching the 8-minute mark to play in the second in a 2-2 tie. O'Brien gets away for the Cougars. Lead pass ahead, quick shot. They score! Nice pass ahead by O'Brien, and Caleb Lind is going to get credit for the goal, and Lind will give the Cougars a 3-2 lead.
Sometimes you got to just tip your hat. Lind did a good job of kind of dragging his foot. Just enough to stay on side. Nice little nifty pass there, and then the goal, he just got marked to open up a little bit and went 5-hole on him.
Got one stride ahead, and that's all a goal scorer needs sometimes.
This game is a game of inches sometimes. It's one little thing. Redbirds actually had a really good shift there, led by John Panos. Had a really nice forecheck. Took the puck off the defenseman of the Cougars. Redbirds had control of the puck in the zone for about 20, 30 seconds. Probably had 3 or 4 good opportunities to score, but you know, that's the game of hockey sometimes.
Chicago goal scored by number 36, Caleb Lind. Assisted by number 97, Tegan O'Brien. Time of the goal, 6:53, second period. Cougars goal scored by Lind, assisted by O'Brien at 6:53. Redbirds continue to put pressure on the Cougars net. And so far, David Zilek's done a pretty good job. Now a penalty coming up against Illinois State as Drew Shadle's going to go to the penalty box.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing. Drew was probably about 70 feet away from the actual play that Redbirds were setting up. They were going to have a guy right in front of the net all alone. And the official just saw something he didn't like away from the play. Again, you got to have some discipline, understand where you are in the game and all that. Again, Coach Pruitt will get on top of that.
Going to be an elbowing call against Shadle. Illinois State penalty number 4, Drew Shadle, 2 minutes for elbowing. Time of the penalty, 12:32, second period. Redbird penalty, Shadle, 2 minutes for elbowing at 12:32. So the Cougars on the power play as the shot was taken and sent wide of the target, blocked by the defense for the Redbirds as Cooper Brackett looked to tally again. Edwards moves along the far boards with it. Sends it down low behind the net. Buffino. Centering pass, trying to connect. Couldn't find Aiden Kennedy. Now the Redbirds get to it as Jackson Graham pushes it, but can't get it down to the zone. Kennedy picks it up for the Cougars on the far boards. Spins it back into the corner. Back out top, here's a shot. That one went wide. As Cooper Brackett again with another opportunity. Now a centering pass looking for Brackett. Loose out front, finally swept away by the Redbirds out to center. Now clear the zone. 45 seconds left in the man advantage. 6:10 to play in the second period. 3-2. Cougars lead the Redbirds. Edwards. Harassed in the defensive zone for the Cougars by Garcia. Finally gets over the line and into the attack zone. Pass over for Brackett was off target. And the Redbirds forecheck right now doing a nice job of eating up some time on this power play.
Yeah, John Panos, he's I coached John for 2 years. He is a very hard worker. He's a very smart player. He's doing a great job tonight.
Perry couldn't quite get to the puck as the penalty for the Redbirds is over and both teams back at full strength. Puck tied up on the far boards in the corner. Back out top is a shot blocked away by the Redbird defense, taken by Buffuna. And the Redbirds able to get control of the puck. John Pano sends it ahead. Tried to go to Michael Garcia, got sandwiched between two Cougars. And a stoppage of play.
Yeah, the goalie got it, froze it. He kind of snuck through.
That wasn't a very emphatic whistle.
Yeah, kind of snuck through there. Good PK by the Redbirds there. You know, they moved the puck. They got a face. You know, they got the penalty over, and now they got a face off in the offensive zone.
Face off to the left of Jilek. Here's Tricarico getting it, firing, and his stick snapped.
Yeah.
He broke his stick taking the shot. The blade just came out of the shaft.
The funny thing is that was a wrist shot. Well, you know, usually you see something like that on a slap shot. You get a lot of flex on the shot. Will's just taking a wrist shot. Now, I will tell you that Will has a very, very hard shot. So it's possible just the strength of him just loading up on that wrist shot.
Jacob Bland will fire one in. Jilek with the glove save, and he'll hang on and take the face off with 4:29. Now they're going to send a couple more to the penalty box. Two players going for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Five on five. You just send them both to the box, let them feel shame for a couple of minutes, and let the game go on. Carson Hill, good job. And you see on there, we got a shot off, and Carson Hill got right in front of the net.
Hilt with a shot. Jilek makes the save. Hilt gets it back. Sent across. Quick shot. That one off the side of the net. May have got the post. Martinson. Back behind the net. Stolen away by Schuckman. Martinson keeps it in for the Redbirds. Now a penalty coming up against Illinois State. And now some pushing and shoving, and more penalties will be adjudicated. And
you could just feel this tension building and building and building and building. See how things kind of clear up. You see a couple of Redbirds going there, Chesney and Bland. A couple of teammates from Peoria. Martinson. I have a feeling we're going to be sitting here for a while trying to figure this out, Ellie.
Oh, I imagine we're going to have a little bit of a delay here for this one.
You might, if you need to, you got the extra score sheet.
Oh, good.
You can always use from me.
I'm glad you got that, because I'm going to run out of room here in a minute.
Sticks being delivered to the box. Refs having a conversation. See what we end up with. I have a feeling, I think the Redbirds might have the initial one. Then we'll see where we are with the rest of them.
The initial penalty will be against Illinois State.
Yeah.
That much is certain. But how much extra is going to be tacked on? Illinois State penalty number 3, Andreas Zorn, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Time of the penalty, 15:31, second period. Redbird penalty, Zorn, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct at 15:31. Chicago penalty number 10, TJ Haas, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, also at 15:31, second period. Cougars penalty, Haas, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct at 15:31. So Martinson and Chesney are heading off the ice for a little bit.
So, yeah, 3:53 left in the period, so we will not see them the rest of this period. So,
likewise for Connor Schuckman.
so Bland and Zorn.
Well, Zorn, that was the earlier penalty.
Yep.
Zorn and Haas got the earlier penalties. Those were the ones that had us playing 5-on-5, and now we're just going to have more people in the penalty box.
So Zorn, came from the Chicago Cougars, so he might have some friends just to the left of him in the box. Maybe they're
Possibly.
just catching up.
Little conference going on between the 4 officials and our official scorer, Mr. Dan Glatt, back once again for another year in the center box for the Illinois State Redbirds as well. He's probably going to start running out of room at some point too, I imagine.
He's closer to the copier machine. If he can get through the next 3:53, he knows where the copy machine is. He can
Agreed.
go get another one.
But then again, they use, well, for this is an exhibition game, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're using the carbons or not. So
That's
yeah.
true.
So yes, the copy machine would be a good choice. So while we have an extra moment, let's give a quick scoring recap. Illinois State able to get on the board first at the 1:06 mark of the first period as Andreas Zorn picked up the opening goal. The assists go to Jacob Bland and to Jackson Graham, and Redbirds lead at 1-0 at that point. Then the Cougars score the next two, first at the 5:46 mark on an unassisted goal by Cooper Brackett. And then at the 15:13 mark, it was Caleb Schultz getting the assist from Brackett to make it 2-1 in favor of the Cougars. And it does look like one of the Cougar players, looks like Peyton Hogue, is going to be going off the ice. They're still trying to figure out who's all staying and who's all going at this point. Cougars were then tied by the Redbirds at the 8:59 mark of the second as Jackson Graham tipped home a shot attempt by Joey Zullo. Zullo gets the assist. Graham gets a second goal in as many games. We were tied at 2, but then less than 4 minutes later, it was the 13:07 mark of the period where the Cougars took the lead as Caleb Lind picked up a nice pass from Tegan O'Brien and was able to put that one home and give the Cougars a 3-2 lead as we take a look at the replay of the brouhaha that took place. No, that is not an advertisement for any particular establishments in town, but it was quite the little shindig going on down the ice. And I can see where Logan Martinson's going to go off for his involvement in it as well.
Yeah. It's a little bit different game. The junior game's a little bit different. College hockey, actually fighting is not allowed in college hockey. So it's just a little bit different environment than what you can expect, starting next week. Not saying that we don't have a few brouhahas occasionally in the regular season, just usually not something like this. So. But you could kind of get the sense with all the penalties tonight, all the things being called, the frustration of the players, even add in a little bit of last night. If we're being honest, Cougars were embarrassed last night. They came out, won in a battle, and they've got it tonight. So we'll get this. Hopefully all straightened out. Ref's got it straightened out. Hopefully Dan doesn't get a cramp in his hand writing down all the penalties. And get back to playing some hockey. Mark and Bergia trying to stretch out, keep warm.
All right, so I think we've got the word on this. Chicago penalties. Number 12, Kevin Hanley, 5 minutes for head contact and a game misconduct. Number 21, Connor Schuckman, 5 minutes for head contact and a game misconduct. Illinois State penalties. Number 22, Logan Martinson, 5 minutes for head contact and a game misconduct. Number 29, Ethan Chesney, 5 minutes for head contact and a game misconduct. All penalties at 16:07, second period. Cougars penalties. Hanley, 5 minutes for head contact and a game misconduct. Schuckman, 5 minutes for head contact and a game misconduct. Redbird penalties. Martinson, 5 minutes for head contact and a game misconduct. Chesney, 5 minutes for head contact and a game misconduct. All at 16:07.
So pretty much what that tells me is the officials are kind of officially done, and I think they're going to go real quick to game misconducts. So you either want to continue to play tonight or you want to go home.
Going to behave like young gentlemen and play the game of hockey.
Yes.
Because there's definitely some chirping going on at some point. Obviously, our microphones are not picking it up, and at some point, I'm kind of glad that's not happening, because some of the verbiage that was used would not be considered proper decorum for a good conversation, let alone for a broadcast. But there is the emotion of the contest going on, and both teams are, they're playing to win. It's not the Cougars are coming in. This is an exhibition. This is for them to get ready for their season. The Redbirds, same thing. They're getting ready for their season. Both teams are trying to put their best feet forward.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't put competitive athletes together and just say this is for fun. You just can't do that. These kids, the reason that they go to juniors is they want to go play college hockey somewhere. They're not unfamiliar with, there are several Cougars players that have, played in these exhibition games against Illinois State, and then they end up here at Illinois State. They've toured our campus. They've talked to Coach Pruitt. So they want to show they got a heart. They work hard and all that, and sometimes that emotion can get the best of you.
So we're going to play 3-on-3 for the next 5 minutes. It's going to look like overtime, but it's not. We're still in the second period. In a 3-2 game, the Cougars lead the Redbirds. Here's Tricarico circling back around Gritchick.
So the key here on 3-on-3 hockey is, you want to control that puck. You don't want to give that puck up. You want to play some one-on-one hockey or man-on-man hockey. Everybody's got a man. You kind of throw the blue lines out. You spread the ice out a little bit more. Try to get some space and some room. You try to find your line changes.
Tricarico sends one in on the short side, and he scores! Will Tricarico, after a hat trick yesterday, goes short side on Zylek, and the Redbirds tie it at 3.
It must have been the stick. He got a new stick after he broke that last one. See even where this kid, he could not have had too much room in that corner.
No, there's very little room in that upper corner right there. Let's take a, here we go from the top cam. Yeah, he's put it right in, right over the shoulder, between the shoulder and the crossbar.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, when he first shot it, I thought he hit the outside of the net. But that's that axiom, right? Every shot has a chance.
Illinois State goal scored by number 12, Will Tricarico, unassisted. Time of the goal 16:54, second period. Redbird goal scored by Tricarico, unassisted at 16:54. Now it's the Cougars' turn to play in the Illinois State end. As O'Brien had it knocked off his stick. Redbirds pick it up. Quick pass ahead, Shadle sent wide. Zulo comes away with it, moves through the slot.
Yep, you want to get some movement going around here. You know, cause some confusion with the defense.
Parker Turch, one of the newcomers for the Division I team this year, moves in. There's a backhander and he scores! Drew Shadle kicked it to his stick, got the backhand and raised it above Zilek's glove, and the Redbirds now lead 4-3.
Really good job on Shadle. You know, the pass was not stick to stick. You know, sometimes that you know, you can't always make that perfect pass. In his skates, kicked it up to his blade, backhander, top shelf. Drew Shadle, of course, is the third of the Shadle brothers. We had his older brothers, Jared, who played goalie for us, and then Jack Shadle was the first one here. So a lot of Shadle tradition here at Illinois State.
Schultz for the Cougars in the corner, sent back out. Redbirds have it as Mason Perry gets to it. Perry will start things up for Illinois State. Tricarico moves through center, over the line, drops it off Bland, back to Tricarico, missed the pass. Now the Cougars able to come away with it. O'Brien will move forward. O'Brien cuts to the slot, knocked away. Imbergia makes the stop as Lynn had a shot. Swept out to the neutral zone and picked up by the Cougars. Illinois State goal scored by number 4, Drew Shadle. Assisted by number 44, Parker Turch, and number 27, Joey Zulo. Time of the goal, 17:47, second period. Redbird goal scored by Shadle, assisted by Turch and Zulo at 17:47. And now a penalty coming up on the Cougars, going to be a roughing call.
I got to admit, so now they're going to, obviously you're not going to go 3-on-2 hockey, you're going to go 4-on-3, so the Redbirds will get another player in. But I got to say, Ellie, I was enjoying the 3-on-3. You usually don't get to see too much of that except in the overtime periods. You know, 3-on-3 is hockey. Like you said, you play a lot of man-on-man hockey. You want to spread it out, spread that puck out. Try to get your line changes when you can. What it says, you throw that blue line apart. And what I mean by that, you spread the ice out. Just try to get as much open ice as possible as you can, and then take advantage of when you get opportunities.
Chicago penalty number 71, Rocco Buffano, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 18:42, second period. Cougar penalty, Buffano, 2 minutes for roughing at 18:42. Time for a Redbird power play with 1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute remaining. That was a nice transition. He's done a nice job tonight. Redbirds have it behind the net. Final minute to play here in the second. 4-3 Redbirds lead it. They're on the power play once again. Tricarico moves in over the line to the circle. Takes it down low, sent up with a centering pass. Redbirds get to it. Natoli back out top to Zorn. Zorn with 30 seconds. Natoli over to Tricarico. Tricarico moves in, tries to roof it. Sent over the top of the crossbar. Back out top for Natoli. Sent across for Zorn. Zorn cuts, fakes the pass, now sends it over to Natoli with 15. Cross ice feed to Sloan, who'll fire one. That went wide of the target, and it's going to leave the zone and should effectively kill off the remaining 10 seconds of the period. Zorn, though, with one last opportunity. Lead pass ahead. Sloan from Zorn. Ridden into the corner, and that'll do it for period number 2. Your score at the end of 2 periods of play, your Illinois State Redbirds 4, the Chicago Cougars 3. Shots on goal in the second period. Illinois State 12, Chicago 8. 2-period totals. Cougars 17, Redbirds 24. So taking a look at some of the second period scoring. The Cougars were able to score in the second period to start things off at the 13:07 mark, or excuse me, 6:53 mark, but 13:07 on the clock, as Caleb Lind able to beat Markin Bergia to give him a 3-2 lead. And the Redbirds, playing 3-on-3, would score the next 2 goals. First one coming from Will Tricarico on a very short angle, able to send it by David Jilek, and the Redbirds tied the game at 3. And then just less than a minute later, Drew Shadle picked up a nice backhand. The assists go to Parker Church and to Joey Zullo, and the Redbirds take a 4-3 lead into the second period, having outshot the Cougars 24-17 through 2 periods. So a little bit hectic there in the middle of the period, but the Redbirds able to get some control and take advantage of the 3-on-3 play late in the period.
Yeah, I love that 3-on-3 hockey. That's that's some fun stuff. That I don't know if you can be a hockey nerd, but that's kind of when I nerd out on hockey on that kind of thing, because it's a fun way of playing hockey. You do a lot of that type of work during practices to work on it. From doing that, the players usually they enjoy playing like that. Sometimes they think we're not even really practicing something. We're just we're having fun here in practice. But it has a real reason for when things go that, because it's counterintuitive. Like I said, you sort of forget about the blue lines. You want to spread the ice out. You want to get some movement going on, and just create those opportunities. You want to control that puck, because so many times in situations like that, you start going back and forth like a tennis match, and then you're really depending on your goalies a little bit too much. So controlling the puck, finding the opportunities to get some line changes, some fresh bodies out there, good things happen. So the Redbirds did a really good job on that. But yeah, the inner hockey nerd in me, I love watching that kind of stuff.
Redbirds lead the Cougars 4-3 in the second intermission. We're back with the third period in just a little bit. You're listening to Illinois State Redbird Hockey on the Illinois State Hockey YouTube channel.
Illinois State Redbird Hockey would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of this year's team. Young America Realty in Normal. Team Automotive and Tire in Normal. Midwest Equipment in Normal. Morris Avenue Garage, Bloomington. DP Doe in Normal, your sponsor of your Division I Player of the Game. Prairie Signs in Normal. And Grosso's Garage in Bloomington.
Back at Grossinger Motors Arena, L.A. Decker, Mike Hernbrock with you as we are getting set for the third and final period of this exhibition contest. Illinois State now leading 4-3 over the Chicago Cougars thanks to 2 late goals in the second period by the Redbirds, by Will Tricarico and by Drew Shadle to stake the Redbirds to a 1-goal lead going into the third period. And Mike, this is the kind of time right now, there's the ominous sign that penalties are going to be called. So now you have to temper things. You have to realize that if you get out of line, there may be a penalty called, but you still got to maintain the speed and physicality of play to maintain this lead for Illinois State.
Yeah, and I think, after that last skirmish where we sent some people to showers early, I think that's going to be how the refs are going to handle things going the rest of this game. You might get a 2-minute penalty and then a game misconduct, and I think they'll just keep doing that until these players kind of figure it out. We got 20 more minutes to go. At the end of the day, this game doesn't mean anything in the standings for either one of these organizations. It's all about next week for Illinois State. It's all about a few weeks from the Chicago Cougars. So, we all just want to get out of here and all that. You come back in November and ask, how did that game go back in Bloomington, in September? No one's even going to really remember it. It's not going to matter.
Looks like our third goalie for the Cougars is going to come into the contest. That was last night's starting goaltender, Sam Burkhall. So Sam Burkhall will come in the net. 3 goalies dressed, 3 goalies play for the Cougars tonight. Mark Imbergia is going to go the distance for Illinois State. He'll be on the goal to our right, and Burkhall will take the goal to our left. Redbirds working from right to left as we see it along with you here in period number 3.
Yeah, a little bit of challenge for the Cougars goalies. That's not normally, what you're typically not, it's not like you're a relief pitcher in baseball where you're kind of used to this is what my role is. Goalies can get pulled, but this kind of planned sitting for 2 periods and then getting into a game, it's just a little bit odd.
Now playing goal for the Cougars, number 50, Sam Burkhall.
But I'm sure they're not going to complain with getting some ice time.
Tricarico with a shot, testing Burkhall immediately. He makes the save, and the rebound comes out. Zorn. Redbirds still on the power play. Zorn near circle. His pass tip. Picked up by Zulo, and he'll carry it to the far side. Back to Tricarico, who'll step in, fire one. That one blocked. Got to skate out front. Zorn picks it up for the Redbirds. Tricarico resets with Zulo. Zulo top of the circle, far side, goes to Zorn. Tip down low as the tip attempt was made by Jacob Bland, but it's cleared out of the zone by the Cougars. As the penalty is over, both teams now playing 4-on-4. We'll revert back to 5-on-5 or 3-on-3 here in just a moment or two, I think. It looks like the penalty clocks are not running at the moment. Here's the clearance by the Cougars as it's sent all the way down the ice by Aiden Kennedy.
So I got to say, I'm really impressed at Will Tricarico. Now, I've had the opportunity to kind of see him, through the summer, when he's come for our conditioning skates and the Red-White Cup that we have in July. For such a big body, he has really good hands and skills. He's got such a hard shot. He's going to be fun to watch over the next few years.
Returning to 3-on-3 play as the Redbirds have it. Mason Perry on the near side. Perry dumps it down behind the net. Jackson Graham tries to chase it down. Kennedy gets to it. Graham beats him in the corner. Graham pinned up in the corner by Kennedy. Graham fights off the check. Mason Perry gets to it. Back to Graham. Graham fires one in. Quick shot saved by Burkhall. Rebound sent around. Ben Moak clears it out for the Cougars, but the Redbirds get to it. Trying to lead pass ahead now. Perry intercepts. Perry will fire. Burkhall with the glove save, and he hangs on. And with 18:15 to play in the third, we'll have a face-off in the Cougar zone as we return to 5-on-5 play.
So Mason Perry, who just made that last shot, I do a lot of recruiting and scouting for the program and all that. And, we find players in different places. Twice a year I get together with my old high school buddies back at Oak Park River Forest High School. My buddies, we call them the Sea Boys. But Mason's uncle, Jerry Schoeneman, is one of my friends, and he says, hey, I've got a nephew that I'm told is a good hockey player. So I just said, hey, this is how we do our plans and all that. And Mason showed up when he was probably 16 years old, came to one of our skates, and I was like, well, Jerry said he doesn't know anything about hockey, but he was told his nephew was a good hockey player, and, Mason played a few more years in youth hockey. We kept in touch. He played some junior hockey, and then last year he went with us to the national championships. So sometimes you're a brilliant recruiter scout. Sometimes you just have conversations with your friends.
Sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time.
In the right place at the right time. It's an inexact science.
Cougars move forward out of the zone. Muskevich sends one in. Save made by Ambersia. Rebound into the near corner. Here's Lind with a shot. That one steered aside by Ambersia to the far corner. Buffano lost it. Redbirds move into the zone. Here's a centering pass knocked away by the stick of Burkall. In the corner, John Panos sent out of the zone. Redbirds able to try to corral it at center. Parker Church sends it back over toward the Cougar line. Carson Hilt now on the forecheck. Right in front of the Cougar bench. Cougars, though, able to get to it. Jack Gardner sends it into the zone. Centering pass knocked away by Panos before it got to Ambersia. Redbirds able to break away as Carson Hilt dumps it in from center. Burkall sends it around the far side. Schultz. And a centering pass intercepted by Bland. Cougars pick it up in the corner. O'Brien tips it forward. Redbirds control. Tricarico sends a shot out front. That one blocked down. Moak got his skates on it. There's a quick shot by Tricarico. That one tipped into the netting behind Sam Burkall. And a face-off will be in the Cougars zone with 15:36 to play in this one.
That looked like a field goal that we'll see tomorrow at the Bears-Packers game.
Yes, the NFL season is underway, and I'll tell you what, the college football season is looking very interesting this year, I have to admit. The Colorado Buffaloes.
Yeah.
That's a team to keep an eye on.
Coach Primetime, he backs up what he says.
He has not disappointed one bit. They're 2-0 now. Here's Tricarico, centering pass out front, tip, rebound, and Burkall will cover as it's shoveled underneath the pads. As getting to it was Tegan O'Brien, and he just put underneath, or Leon Norton, pardon me, also there. So he was able to get it to where his goaltender Burkall can cover it up. Faceoff will stay in the Cougar zone. Redbirds lead it 4-3, outshooting the Cougars so far, 29-18.
Jackson Graham getting in front of the net. Will found him in there. Nice little backhand pass. Nice to see they're trying to get in front of that net a little bit more. Good things will happen when those things happen.
Jacob Bland pushes the face-off forward. Cougars, though, able to pick it up. Norton skates out of the corner. Down ahead to Kennedy. Kennedy back to Norton. His shot off the side of the net. Schultz there. He gets pushed into the boards, and a penalty coming up against the Redbirds. That will be...
That's going to be a check from
behind.
Yeah, that was pretty definite. They start teaching you very young in this sport. You see the numbers. You got to back off a little bit. You got to come in from an angle, or you just, you let it go. It's hard though. You're trying to make a play. These These kids can kind of move really quickly and all that. So that's kind of a no-brainer call, though. That's going to be called every time. Michael Natoli, another local player. Chris Pruitt was involved with Bloomington Youth Hockey as a hockey director for a long time. He's actually the most successful hockey director and head hockey coach. He won several championships with Bloomington Youth Hockey as the 18U coach.
And the power play goal as TJ Haas rips one from the slot. And just seconds into the power play, the Cougars have tied it at 4.
Yep, just quick, got low shot there, just got by Mark. Just wheeling it up to the top, little cross. Found that little lane in the middle, and then you see the Cougars had a guy right in front of the net. Mark never saw the puck.
The Illinois State penalty number 15. Michael Natoli, 2 minutes for checking from behind. Time of the penalty, 4:58, third period. Redbird penalty Natoli, 2 minutes for checking from behind at 4:58. So the tie score at 4. Matsis tips it ahead to Turch. Parker Turch will send one in. It's tipped, and then a penalty coming up. Going to be a slashing call. Let's see who's going off the ice this time.
Looks like the Cougars are going. Thought for a little bit that ref Brennan Begner was looking at the Redbird player, but I was mistaken. So I want to kind of finish that story. Coach Pruitt, was with the Bloomington Youth Hockey. He does a lot with the local youth hockey program, but some of these players he coached and he won championships with. So again, talking a little bit about recruiting, maybe some of these kids would not have gotten noticed, but because Coach Pruitt had coached them before, he knew the talent that they had.
Chicago goal scored on the power play by number 10, TJ Haas. Unassisted. Time of the goal, 5:10, third period. Cougars goal on the power play scored by Haas, unassisted at 5:10. Chicago penalty number 71, Rocco Buffano, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 5:40, third period. Cougars penalty Buffano, 2 minutes for slashing at 5:40, resulting in a Redbird power play. So the Redbirds on the power play for the next 125. Graham over to Tricarico near side, moves in, scores! Will Tricarico from a short angle again, and the Redbirds take the lead back at 5-4.
That's quickly becoming his signature. I don't think I'd put any money down playing darts against Will, because that is as small of a spot, and he's done it twice. You do it once, maybe you think, well, there's just a little luck there, but that seems to be his thing. That's impressive.
I think that would be a high accuracy rating in the hockey video games.
Yeah.
So the Redbirds now with a 5-4 lead over the Cougars. Redbirds looking for more as they move in, and Burkall makes the save as moving in was Alex Matsis. We've seen some Alex Matsis goals over the last couple of years as well.
Yeah, Alex. Alex played for me last year. Lots of talent. He went to nationals with the D1 team at the end of our season last year, and he looked like he belonged, and I was happy to have him for 1 year.
Illinois State goal is second of the game, scored on the power play by number 12, Will Tricarico. Unassisted, time of the goal, 6:43, third period. Redbird goal on the power play, scored by Tricarico, unassisted at 6:43. So now the Cougars again face a one-goal deficit, now approaching 12 minutes to play in this one. Zulo sends it ahead to Matzis, who sends it right in on Burkall, and he makes the save, and he'll take the face-off in his own end. 12:10 to play in the third. I think I need to get a bigger score sheet next time.
Her longer arms.
I don't think they're getting any bigger. I think I'm past that age. Cougars collect and move through center as Schultz's pass just missed its connection, but it's onside. Bachton sends it ahead to Carson Hilt through center. Tipped ahead by Panos into the corner far near side. Back to Mason Perry. Perry drops it off to Hilt. Now a quick shot blocked away. Mason Perry gets it on the near boards. Michael Garcia sends it down into the corner. Carson Hilt goes to get it. Centering pass out front. Loose in the slot and finally picked up by the Cougars. Trey Henderson spins at the blue line. Sets up. He's 1-on-4 and has to give up the puck. Perry to center. And Panos will tip it in. Back to get it for the Cougars is Aiden Middendorf. Middendorf had it stolen away. Quick shot by Tricarico, and looks like he got a stinger on that one. Closest thing you could probably say that was is when you get jammed playing baseball, you get the bees in your hand from the bat.
Yep. Will did a good job forechecking there. He's got, he's got not only is he tall, his stick is very long as well. He got his stick in there, essentially just stole the puck away, got an A+ opportunity.
Tricarico with a quick shot in the slot. That one might have been tipped by Burkall on the way by. Centering pass lost in front. Graham fires, blocked away, sent back behind the net. Far side Graham centers it again. This one tipped away out to center, and the Redbirds will retrieve it. Cougars move in over the line. Quick shot, and Bergia bats at it, saves it, goes back behind the net. Brackett got it loose in the corner, but Tricarico able to play it for the Redbirds. Jackson Graham, a spinorama. Drop back down low, with the pass back out to the point. Eluded Andreas Zorn, and now a whistle stopping play. And a penalty against the Redbirds.
Jacob Bland. Let's go back on the kill. We've been kind of trading power play goals back and forth.
Trying to figure out what the penalty was.
I did not see it.
Okay.
Really.
Well, we can just say it's roughing.
I'm going to go with interference. How's that? I'm going to play the odds.
A little too easy. Illinois State penalty number 23, Jacob Bland, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 9:51, third period. Redbird penalty, Bland, 2 minutes for roughing at 9:51. Here's Burkall coming out to play it. Get out to center. Broken up as Moak got to it.
Yep, hold on to it. There you go.
Now the Redbirds able to clear up the length of the ice and kill some more time. 1:25 for the power play for the Cougars. 9.5 minutes to play in this one. 5-4 Redbirds. Edwards dropped it off to Haas.
Good stick there by Shadle.
Haas at the line, sends it across. Edwards is going to play it near side. Edwards moves into the circle. His shot blocked away. Nicely done by Joey Zulo. Puck kept in the zone, though, by Edwards. Sends it around to the far side. Shadle couldn't quite get it out of the zone. Gritchick back to get it. Liam Gritchick gets away from pressure. Does get it out to center as Edwards plays it back. 40 seconds remaining in the man advantage for the Cougars. Here's Kennedy with a shot. That one steered aside by Ambergia. Perry sends it around the dasher and all the way out to the neutral zone. Final 30 seconds of the man advantage. Muskevich sends it forward. Garcia almost blocked it and kept it in. The Redbirds would have had a 2-on-1. Jack Gardner spins it back in the final 10 seconds of the power play. Approaching 8 minutes to play in the contest. Tegan O'Brien. As the penalty to Bland is over, both teams are back at full strength.
Panos and Garcia did a really good job the last 20, 30 seconds of that PK. Just keeping the Cougars from even getting beyond the red line.
Sent back around behind the net. Peyton Hogg runs into one of the Redbirds. Looks like it's Panos in the corner. Panos does come away with it and sends it out to neutral ice. Lead pass ahead. Garcia's going to track it down. Garcia moves in, cuts, fires, and scores! Michael Garcia goes one-on-one with the goaltender and wins, and it's 6-4 Redbirds.
You know, having coached Mike last year, he has a nose for just feeling when that ice is going to shift and just jumping a little bit, getting behind the blue line and identifying it. And I can tell you that when he goes one-on-one against a goalie, he's going to win that battle 9 times out of 10.
Burkall left the 5-hole open that time, and Garcia knows what to do to put the biscuit in the basket, and it's 6-4 Illinois State.
Yeah, the only thing that I was worried about is that defender coming back, cutting off his angle. But Mike did a great job of putting his shoulder down to where the defender was not going to be able to take it away. And then, yeah, I've seen it enough to where he gets those legs spread wide open and he finds that hole.
Parker Turch with a shot. That one went wide. Jackson Graham was denied by Burkall on the doorstep. Sent around to the near side. Turch drops it back down low. Centering pass, stolen away. As Haig able to clear to center. Illinois State goal scored by number 88, Michael Garcia. Assisted by number 23, Jacob Bland, the number 15, Michael Natoli. Time on the goal, 12:27, third period. Redbird goal scored by Garcia, assisted by Bland and Natoli at 12:27. There's a shot by Perry. Stopped by Burkall, and the rebound cleared out by the Cougars with just about 6 minutes remaining in this one. Bland picks it up for the Redbirds after intercepting the pass.
Nice job by Bland there. Just nothing there. Just go high and hard off the glass. 2-goal lead. Starting to make that clock start to work for you a little bit.
Carson Hill into the corner. Gets it back. Steers it down low for Matsis. Matsis back to the point. Gritchick sends it in, tipped, and covered up by Burkall. And he'll take the face-off. 5:32 to remaining in this one. And the Redbirds with a 6-4 lead in the contest. Out shooting the Cougars 36-22 to this point. Redbirds control the face-off. Gritchick, his shot tipped, went over the top of the crossbar. Carson Hill spins it down low to Tim Sloan. Sloan tries the wraparound backhand. Knocked away, and now a penalty coming up.
I think
net came off the pegs. So they'll reset and start the game back up with a face-off in the Cougar zone with 5:16 to play.
So you've got this 2-goal lead. You know, it's been a tight game most of the game. 2-goal lead, and you're getting under around 5 minutes, under 5 minutes. Coach Pruitt, I'm sure, is about taking care of the simple things, starting to win blue lines, get that puck in deep. Cougars have to score. Redbirds don't have to score. We need to kind of protect that lead. Doesn't mean you're still not playing hard and going after it, but you just want to make sure you're taking care of the defensive end.
Here's a lead pass ahead. Garcia again ahead of the pack. Moves in. Got taken down from behind. No call. Ridden off the puck that time nicely by Aiden Kennedy. Now Natoli. Sends it forward. Tipped by Garcia and controlled by the Cougars. Trey Henderson. Moves through center. Takes it in. Haas lost the handle in the slot. Redbirds control for a moment. Swept aside of the corner. Bachton gets knocked down in the defensive zone. Puck cleared to center, and the Cougars will have to tag out. 4:15 to play. Redbirds with a 2-goal lead at 6-4. O'Brien. Left it for Norton. Now the Redbirds pick it up at center. Here's Graham moving in, firing, save Burkall. Rebound, Tricarico in the corner far side. Had it, lost it, now tracks it down behind the net. Centering pass out front quickly, Jansen. Graham couldn't get a shot away. Now back down low, Mason Perry. Looking for Tricarico, couldn't find him. O'Brien. Double team. Tricarico out to Perry from the circle. Fires, tipped, rebound loose out front, and still loose. Finally picked up. Redbirds play it in, and now a penalty or a stoppage.
It could be a penalty shot. The defender on the Cougars landed right on it on the crease. We'll see.
We're going to see what the call is on this.
That actually got called in the D3 game today against the Redbirds.
It will be a stoppage. It will not be a penalty shot. It'll be a face-off in the Cougar zone with 3:33 to play.
So a little earlier, he saw, Mike Garcia scored on that breakaway, partial breakaway with defender coming in where he used his body to protect himself to get a shot off. Almost the identical play came up again. Michael tried to do the same thing. That Aiden Kennedy, he's a solid defenseman. Michael again tried to use his body to shield him off. Aiden wasn't having anything to do with that, and he just used his body to make sure that Mike was not going to get anywhere near the net.
Tricarico, lead pass ahead to Graham, cuts in, fires. That one stopped by Burkall. Rebound out front. Tricarico denied, and the puck sent all the way down, and it will be icing against the Cougars with 2:52 to play in the third. Faceoff will come all the way back into the Chicago end.
Nice play by Will there. Sometimes you make some nice passes and things like that, and then that puck finds its way back to you. You get a nice scoring opportunity. That was there. I really thought he was going to get that goal there because he made a nice little, just a little sauce pass between some legs.
Matzis with a backhand, stopped by Burkall. The rebound goes behind the net. Picked up by Cooper Brackett. Now a whistle stops play as a helmet came off of Cooper Brackett, so the play is halted at 2:41 to play in the third. Brackett will replace the bucket, and will resume play.
We're okay. As long as the head is not still in the helmet when the helmet comes off, we're okay.
Funny story. I got a story about that, not related to hockey, but about helmets. My dad used to race stock cars years ago. This was quite a long time ago, before I was even in the picture. And he had an accident where his helmet came off and rolled down the infield, and there were several people who fainted and screamed and thought it was, it was not. It was just his helmet, though. My mom knew it right away because she painted the helmet custom. That could have been a bad story, but it turned out to be a pretty wholesome one.
Well, we're glad you're here to tell this story.
Oh, well, absolutely. And I had the helmet for a long time before it finally just aged out. It was like a Snell 58 or 59, so little too old to wear from a motorcycle. 2 minutes left in this one as the puck is in the corner on the near side, dug out by the Redbirds. Pavel Bachtin digs it out, and the Redbirds come away with it. Andreas Zorn moves through center. Zorn cuts one in, fires it on Burkle. Glove save made, and he'll hang on for a faceoff. Now 1:44 to play, and
now you just want that clock to run. You know, everything you can do to just tick seconds off the clock. You know, again, Coach Pruitt, I'm sure, is over there just going, we don't need to score, we don't need to score, we don't need to score, we just need that clock to run. Doesn't mean if you find yourself in front of the net with an opportunity to score a goal, you by all means, but the key is let that clock help you.
Haas knocked away by Carson Hilt, but got it back on the far side. TJ Haas moves through center and dumps it into the Redbird end. 1:25 to play. Perry on the near side. Lost it as the Cougars control. Here's Edwards with a shot. That one sent wide of Imbergia with 1:15 to go. Natoli tries to glove it down. Picked up by Panos behind the net. Panos got it to Mason Perry with 1:05 left. 1 minute to play in regulation. 1 minute remaining. Here's Carson Hill with a centering pass. Panos couldn't quite receive it. It was knocked away. Parker Turch able to break up the pass in the zone, and the Redbirds control. Tim Sloan sends it off the dasher, and this one will be an icing call against Illinois State.
Yeah, they're just trying to get a tip to stop that icing, but they just missed it on that.
38.7 seconds remaining. Face-off will be in the Redbird end.
Michael Natoli made a nice little play down in the corner at the beginning of that shift. Again, he didn't have any opportunities to make it, so he just took the puck and he just took advantage of the high ceilings here in the arena, just flipped it up in the air.
Here's Sloan moving in over the line. Centering pass for Turch. He puts it off the side of the net. Burkall was there to shut the door, and now a stoppage with 26 seconds exactly remaining as Sam Burkall makes the stop on the second attempt, and the Redbirds will have a face-off coming up in the Cougars' end. Highlights coming up following the conclusion of this one. Still 26 seconds remaining to figure out the final tally of this one. Here's Parker Turch firing one in, tipped aside. Tricarico sends one off the side of the net, gets the rebound. Back out to the point in Zorn. Zorn to the near boards. Wheels it back in with 10 seconds. Tricarico sends it behind the net. Now someone's going to try a Michigan. They try to flat paddle it, and Burkall able to grab it. The horn will sound, and that will do it for the second exhibition game for the Illinois State Redbirds. They win this one by the final of 6-4. Your final score, your Illinois State Redbirds 6, the Chicago Cougars 4.
All right, exhibition season's over now. You know, the boys will put in the work all this week. D1 will be getting ready for Missouri State. D2 will be getting ready for Bradley, and the D3 team will take on the Mizzou Tigers next week.
Shots on goal in the third period. Chicago 5, Illinois State 20. 3-period totals. Cougars 22, Redbirds 44. Fans, thank you for coming out this weekend to the exhibition games for the Division 1, 2, and 3 Redbirds. The season will begin for the Division 2 Redbirds next Friday and Saturday here at both the Olson Ice Rink and in Grossinger Motors Arena. Check out the Redbird Hockey Facebook page for more information and the YouTube channel for all replays and coverage. So that's going to do it for this one. The Redbirds were 6-4 winners. Let's take a look, if we can, really quickly at some highlights of this one, because sadly, I have to go to work. Not that I'm not working here. I enjoy this. This is fun. But I actually have to go to real work. So the Redbirds gave up the tying goal as in the third period it was TJ Haas on the power play. with 14:50 left to tie it at 4. And then another snipe from Will Tricarico. Second one of that nature in the contest. He's got 5 goals on the weekend. Made it 5-4. And then Michael Garcia closed out scoring. And the Redbirds close it out with a 6-4 win as Garcia picked up the assist from Jacob Bland and from Michael Nazzoli at the 12:27 mark. Final thoughts, Michael Hernbrook.
It was a great weekend for the Redbirds. You know, hopefully we come all out of there healthy and safe. Actually, undefeated season or undefeated weekend for all 3 teams. So we got some positive things, some things that we've all kind of, as the coaches, have learned that we might need to work on. But overall, a successful weekend. We're really excited about the season for all 3 at all 3 levels of our teams.
So that's going to do it from us here at Grossinger Motors Arena. Big thanks to Michael Hernbrook for joining me here this evening, and a big thanks to the executive producer of Illinois State Redbird Hockey, Mr. Frank Blaine. And, of course, thank you to everyone here at Grossinger Motors Arena, staff and the support teams for all their help throughout the weekend. Again, your final score in our second exhibition contest of the season. The real thing starts next week. Illinois State victorious in the exhibition finale over the Chicago Cougars by the final score of 6-4. For Michael Hernbrook, I'm L.A. Decker. Thanking you for joining us tonight. Good night, everybody.